Hi, I'm Christopher Dunnigan. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge Tura 10-light mobile pendant. This is with the seated glass, which we have right here. We'll talk about in just a second. This is the 131156. Also, lots of other Tura fixtures, including a really nice wall sconce that will go with this nicely. Why don't we get into the size of the fixture body, and that's really about each of these. And you're talking about 15 inches tall, and you are talking about 16 inches wide from side to side, and the depth for each one is coming in at 11. The overall height, now we're talking about the distance from the bottom of the fixture, very bottom, to the ceiling itself. It's going to give you two different ranges to play with. So you've got, one of them is going to be starting at 30 inches and going to 92 inches overall height, and the second one's going to go from 30 inches to 142, which is pretty long. However, if you need yours to be longer than 142, drop us a quick email. Say you're looking at the 131156 and tell us how long you need it to be from the ceiling to the bottom of the fixture. We're going to take your email, send it through Hubbardton Forge's customs department, or it's going to come back with an answer, and we do customs all the time. Also, we can make this larger too. So let's say you wanted to go beyond the 48.9 in diameter and you wanted to go to 60 inches diameter. We do those kind of things as well, and you would drop us a quick email just like I talked about a second ago, and we will send that through. Okay, let's get into lots of the little details. So let's talk about glass really quick, because this glass is very cool. It's seated glass, which means it's hand blown, clear, and it has little air bubbles in it. And there's actually two pieces of glass here. So they're separate. They're done separately. So they're hand blown and then they're put together. So you have the outer piece, and then there's an air space, and then there's an inner piece that you can see as well, like a little cup shape. And these kind of have little indentations on the side and including on the bottom. At the top of it is an embedded ring. This has threading on it, and that goes over your socket. So all those things go together, and this slips right inside of there, so it's pretty simple. Very cool. Okay, also this is coming in at 29.6 pounds. So all in, you want to talk to your installer about that. It's not a heavy fixture, but we always like to know those things. This cannot go on a slope ceiling. This is not a slope ceiling adaptable. If you're working with a slope ceiling, it'd be a good idea to email me or call so we can kind of walk through options for you. Why don't we talk about the canopy up on the ceiling? And a good way to show you that is really with the installations instructions, because there's lots of good information in there that you can see now before you even go any farther. So if you're on the page for this on Handmade in Vermont, look over on that side of the screen, midway down, you're going to see a link. It's going to say click here for installations, instructions, PDF. So open that up for me. It's going to show you a full parts list of all the different parts, how to put it together, which is super simple. It's going to show you some good line drawings of that canopy. That's the part that goes over up on the ceiling, over your junction box. This is a 4-inch J box. That canopy on the ceiling is 12.3 inches in diameter. It's about that thick. It's holding a transformer, which is going to transform your line voltage from your house or your building into low voltage to safely go through those cables down to that fixture. That canopy is going to be set up, as far as finishes go, kind of interesting. So why don't we talk about that really quick. So you're going to notice there's a pull-down menu that says choose your finish, and that's going to be for the fixture body. It's going to be for the arms that are holding all the fixtures down below, and it's going to be for the faceplate. The faceplate is the bottom of the canopy, the round flat piece facing down. So that's going to be part of the choose your finish. The can of the canopy, that's the part that touches the ceiling, that goes around and hits the ceiling, is going to be in black, and that's how that is always going to be. Those little grippers that look like they hold things, that are called grippers, the cables go into those. So basically, during your installation, you're going to be pushing the cables into the grippers, and they'll stay right there. They'll lock into place. If you wanted to move them around a little bit, you just use your thumbnail and you press that in, and it will unlock it, so you can kind of slowly back them out and get them down below to where you want them to be. Those little grippers are always going to be kind of a polished nickel. So you got a few things going on there. You have the black as far as the can at the canopy. At the top, you've got the faceplate. That's going to be in the finish, in the choose your finish part of this story. And then you have those little grippers, and they're going to always be kind of a polished nickel. The cables coming down are always going to be gray. So that takes care of all of that. Why don't we hop into what you can do with this as far as lamping goes. So you've got 10 of these sockets down below. Don't forget that. So you can get a lot of light out of this if need be. You're going to be using a G9 socket, and that takes G9 bulbs. This is not going to be a halogen fixture. This is solely going to be LED. The bulb you're going to use in this is a G4 LED, and they're easy to get. You can get them at Home Depot or Lowe's or Ace Hardware. I basically get them on Amazon. That's just a really good place to do it. And I would just go on Amazon, or you can just Google G4 4-watt LED. So each of them is going to be a 4-watt. That's what you're going to use. A 4-watt LED is going to be the equivalent of a 25-watt bulb. So don't forget, you've got 10. It's really going to add up. So we're going to talk about dimming in just a second on top of all that. The bulb on this is easy to find. So when you get onto Google or Amazon or whatever, and you do maybe even just do images or whatever, it's going to give you a nice big list to choose from. A couple things you want to zero in on is going to be the color of the light coming out of that bulb. They're going to offer it to you in daylight. Actually, before even that, they're going to offer it to you in 2700 Kelvin. That's going to be like a setting sun, which actually could look really pretty in this, just so you know. But they're also going to offer this to you in something called daylight, which sounds like it should be a warm light, like sunlight, but it's not. That is a colder bluish white light, like the hospital waiting room light, or an overcast day. So that's going to be 4,000, 5,000 Kelvin on the Kelvin scale. What we like to use in our showroom is called warm white or soft white. We talk about it in every video. And that's going to be 3,000 Kelvin. That's the light coming down from these LEDs above me. And it looks nice. It looks like an incandescent bulb is above us. So that's kind of my take there. As far as the 4-watt goes, so you've got, like I said before, you can have a lot of light on this. Make sure it's a dimmable bulb that you get, because you're going to want to dim this down at some point, I'd imagine. And tell your installer you're using dimmable LEDs so they put the correct dimmer on the wall for you. Let's get into metal finishes now. If you are on the HandmadeInVermont.com website, look over in the red tabs with the pictures in them over there. You're going to see a Finishes Help Guide tab. Open that up for me. It's going to be a video there of me talking to you guys about the differences in Hubbardton forged finishes, how they can look on different types of forging. I'm going to be referencing a chart just down below, so scroll down a little bit. You're going to see a chart. You can click on that chart, so you can click on dark smoke, you can click on soft gold, doesn't matter. Big page will pop up showing you lots of different things in that finish. You can go back to the chart and you'll notice there's letters A's on them, letter B's on some of those things, and that's going to be showing you this range of variants that you can expect to see on different translucent finishes, but I'll talk about all of that in the video, okay? Okay, showroom. Our showroom in Vermont has over 400 Hubbardton Forge fixtures. This is the biggest showroom in the world of Hubbardton Forge. No other showroom is like this. Hubbardton Forge doesn't even have their own showroom. They use this one. What's on display? We have a great tab on that. And those same red tabs, you're going to see a What's on Display page. So open that up. It's going to show you everything we have on display, and including which finish, which shade, all of those things, and what kind of glass it's on there. We're open every day except Sunday, 11 to 6. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We also have an amazing clearance center. Clearance center stuff is 75% off MSRP. It's returns, discontinued stuff, showroom samples. You have to come here to use it. Can't call us or email us about it, but it's definitely worth coming in to look at if you're in Vermont. Plus, you want to use the showroom anyway, because there's just so much great stuff here to see. Our number in Vermont, 802-446-2400. You can email us 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Love to answer emails, and it's sales@HandmadeInVermont.com. So when you order from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is going to be free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. No tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont. And we're the only dealer with 90-day returns, no restocking fee. Nobody else does that. Some larger items are going to be non-returnable. It's going to be really important that you are looking at the fixture on that page and kind of scroll down under the description. It'll tell you if that is the case. And that's usually for really big, giant, huge fixtures, mostly that go out on pallets. Okay, that's it. Rush program. Let's talk about that. So rush program, Hubbardton Forge generally takes about 3 to 4 weeks to go out the door. That's production time before your transit time. You always have to add that on too. We offer a rush program that takes you from that 3 to 4 weeks down to a little under 2 weeks. It's a very small addition per line item. So if you have like 1, 2, 3 items, like let's say 3 or 4 outdoor sconces, and they're all the same size and they're all the same finish, that's one line item. So it's very inexpensive to rush those kind of things. Don't be afraid to email us and ask about that. Okay, so that's really it. If you guys have any other questions, let us know. We would love to see you in our showroom sometime. And thanks for stopping in.